All right, good morning. Good morning. This is Richie Contardesi coming to you live from beautiful and sunny Las Vegas, Nevada, with another episode of SalesPreneur, how to crush procrastination. I got a question last night, and it completely reminded me of a story that I had over this past adventure of having a child. I was in the hospital, and I think procrastination is really, a lot of people say it's a time management issue, and I think that's a part of it, but I also think there's a few other things that are involved. So basically in this video, I'm going to share what I think procrastination is and basically a step-by-step process of how to handle that. And when I got the question last night, it really triggered this story. It was a really good story that I had, and I wanted to do a different live on this, but I was like, man, this is such a good way to explain it. So what's up, everybody? If you're on, if you have any questions, definitely comment below. Let me know you're here. I can't ever see how many people are on. I can only see the comments. So let me know that you're here. And then at the end, I will get back to the question. So a lot of people say procrastination is a time management issue. And I think that, like I said, it is a small part of it, is a percentage of it. But there are two other factors involved that we're going to talk a little bit about. And then I'm going to share with you some easy time management things we can do so you can get through procrastination, because it really does rob us. It holds us back. It makes a 6-month thing that we need, a 6-month timeline to accomplish something into a year, 6 years, or a lifetime for some. So time management, will, and mindset, I think, are the three biggest pieces to procrastination. We'll talk through those and then how to break through those. So what's up, Emily? So I was basically here. It is. I'm at the hospital. I'm talking to the lactation specialist, and this is where, like, I was gonna do another episode on this, but I'm talking to the lactation specialist, and she's like, "Oh, well, yeah, in probably in like a year or two, I'll start when." She wanted to start her own lactation business on the side. She didn't want to do it in the hospital anymore, I guess. I'm not going to call her out on it. But she goes, I'll start when my daughter graduates and she can help me build a website. And I'm thinking to myself, what? What did she just say? She's unhappy. She wants to start her own thing, but she'll start when her daughter graduates and can build her a website. And I'm like, you know how many people say I'll start when? I was like, wait, what? You're telling me that the only reason that you're not going out and doing this is because you're waiting for your daughter to graduate so you can build a website? I'm like, are you serious? Like, you're not happy and waiting for a website? So this to me, and the same with the question that I got, this to me just shows that she hasn't done anything. Literally has not even tried. So she's asking and doing the wrong things and then making an excuse saying, I'll start when. Like, if you spent 10 minutes on the internet in the information age and Googled get a website, like, there's so many free website options out there. And that's not the long-term solution, right? It's like, okay, build a website to get started, and then you pay someone down the road and do it later. But so many people in sales, so many people as entrepreneurs are like, I'll start that when. I'll start that marketing campaign when. I'll start cold calling when. I'll start cold emailing when. I'll start, like, they always have this excuse. And then when it doesn't happen, they blame it on fate. That's my favorite part. They're like, oh, well, you know what? It is what it is. It happens because, it's fate. Get out of here. That's like literally the worst excuse of all time. No, it's not fate. It's that you didn't do anything. So I just couldn't believe it. I mean, I literally, like, so many people make excuses, but they've never even tried. So yes, it's not easy, but a lot of times it's simple. Like, we live in a day, like, we live in I don't know where you are, but if you're in the United States, we're in like the easiest country to get going, the easiest country to build what you want. Like, we have everything, all the information. No, it's not organized a lot of times, but you can buy organized information. We have everything anyone can. There's no excuse. There's no I'll start when. You start when, you start now. So let's see. What did I say next after that? So yeah, so she didn't even look. Like everybody, and this is something I talk about a lot, but everybody always has these big ideas, these big dreams, these big things that they want to do, but nobody does. And here's why. Nobody actually does, because they complicate everything so much. And I'm going to talk about the difference between projects and tasks and how to organize that. But people legitimately 100% complicate everything. So she goes, I'm going to start a lactation business. That's not a task. That's so many different things. You're never going to do anything. You're always going to procrastinate because it's too complicated. There's too many different things going on. So if she were to say, oh, I want to start a lactation business. Okay, well, what's the first thing for you? She said, oh, the first thing is to build a website. Okay, so what's the first step to building a website? Maybe doing some research and finding out what's out there. Okay, so now we went from starting a lactation business to spending an hour doing research to finding out how to do a website. Way different mindset, way different set of thinking, way different way of looking at it. And obviously, she's going to think differently. She's going to look differently when she has a simple task versus this huge conglomerate thing that she wants to do. So when you have something that you're trying to accomplish, we have to break it down. There's a difference between a project and a task. And there's a book out there called Getting Things Done. And it's an amazing book because it breaks down how to go through the difference between setting these up and what it looks like and the tasks and the projects and how to organize them. And I did that about 5 years ago and it changed everything for me. Literally 100% changed everything. So when you have something like, okay, so this is a goal that I want. Like, for example, I'm going to try to make this super easy. So I want to cold email 50 people per day, or cold call 50 people a day. So let's say you write that down. Like, that's what I want to do. How many questions do you arise from this? Legitimately, how many questions, right? Who am I going to contact? How am I going to contact them? What's the templates? What are the responses? What am I going to say? Like, if you had that written down on your sheet of paper, you'd be like, holy shit. Like, where do you even begin? So what you're going to do is you're going to have that written down on your to-do list, and then you're going to go ahead and you're going to say tomorrow, and then you'll say next week, and then the next day, and you never do anything. The reason being is because this isn't a task unless you have the whole system. This is not a task. This is a project. And that's why you're not doing anything, because you don't know what to do first. So I would say the first thing to do when it comes to this is to figure out and have some sort of market, some sort of target market that you're going after, right? What is that target market that you're going after? And then from there, a lot of times people like, oh, who do I email? Who do I call? I don't know. The only way you know is if you call the actual organization, or you call a company and ask them, or a school, or even an individual. Just ask. Like, that's how you find out. So when it comes to like cold emailing or cold calling, for example, stop focusing on just like, who do I contact? What do I say? And just get started. Just say, hey, okay, task number 1 is to figure out who are the first couple individuals that I'm going to contact, and just start there and contact them. The only way you're going to find out in the long run who to contact is to contact them and ask them, who do I contact? And then they'll tell you, and then over time you'll get better and better. And then with your call scripts too, like so many people are like, oh, well, I don't know what to say. Well, no shit. Like, nobody knows what to say in the beginning. 1, have a mentor, and 2, if you don't know what to say, just at least come up with something and try it. And then try it. And you're going to get better and better and better over time. It's just like anything else. Like, you're just going to get better. There's no way around it. So what most people do is they do nothing. They literally do nothing. And then they look at this task that they have, whatever that task is, and they just say tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow. And my favorite line of all time, the same with the hospital lady, the lactation consultant, all get started when. All start when. No. All that is a bunch of BS. It's an excuse. It's an excuse to avoid pain. It's an excuse to avoid failure. It's an excuse to avoid rejection. It's an excuse not to get what it is that you deserve. and you're going to blame it on something else. And then you're going to say, the reason that I ended up not achieving this, what I wanted, the reason I can't accomplish this goal was just, it was fate. It was everybody's fault but my own. And no, the problem is it's your fault. It's your fault. And like, that's just 100% the bottom line. People say I'll get started when? Because of failure, because of rejection, because of fear of the unknown, because of the pain that these fears are going to cause for them. And they want to avoid pain. We're wired. We're 100% wired to avoid pain. And that's why we don't do it. That's why we say, I'll start when. Like she said, I'll start when my daughter gets out of school so she can build a website, so that if the website doesn't work out, she can blame it on her daughter and not herself. That's why she did that. So it is what it is. So here's where we are. So I put together 4 steps that I looked back at some of these tasks that I've created and just put together the 4 steps that I feel that I've consistently used and have helped me to be able to accomplish some of these tasks. Like the gym launch, for example, moving locations, and now we're working on franchising. That was not a task. That was a smaller project built of tasks. So same thing with the speaking business. Same thing with the goal I showed you there. Like everything is a project built into tasks, into tasks, into tasks. And if you focus on the small tasks, it'll make the project easy. And before you know it, you'll have the project completed. So the first step is the number 1, admit it. So like you look at your to-do list right now. If you're watching this, go on your to-do list and look at your to-do list or things that you want to accomplish and see what the difference is, or see how many of them are actually projects and how many of them are tasks. How many of them are something that you would say, okay, this is an easy one thing that I can complete right now. That's a task. If it's something like this, then that's a project, because there's so many other different variables. Maybe a task would be create a call script. Maybe a task would be find a way to find emails. Maybe a task would be find phone numbers to call. Maybe a task would be find the market that I'm looking in. Like those are tasks. And even some of those could be broken down into projects. Big difference between projects and tasks. So if any of you have tasks or projects or things in your to-do list and you want to throw them in the comments, do that, and I'll help you break them down once I get to the end here, because I think that was a big turning point for me when I understood the difference between projects and tasks. Okay, the second thing, so the first thing is, number 1, we have to admit it. We have to take a look at what we have and admit that, hey, this is what's causing my procrastination. It is what it is. We all experience it. I don't care who you are, how great you are. It seeps in. It's a natural thing. It's instinctual, but we can overcome it. So the second thing is to start focusing on the prize on the other side of pain. Literally, the prize on the other side of pain. So we talk about the why. We talk about why you want to do what you do, but also take a look at let's say you cold called 50 people per day, or you emailed 50 people per day. What's the prize on the other side of this? What's the prize on the other side of the pain of the rejection and the potential failure? Or for the lady starting the lactation thing, the prize for her is not having to go to the hospital anymore, right? So start focusing on the prize on the other side of the pain as to why you're procrastinating. Like you're procrastinating something because you're avoiding some sort of pain, right? So start focusing on the prize, not the pain. The third thing is you have to make a decision. You have to flat out make a decision. And Tony Robbins says this, and I absolutely love it. Tony Robbins said, making a true decision means committing to achieving a result and then cutting yourself off from any other possibilities. That's a legitimate decision. Not like, hey, I'm going to try this. I'm going to have 1 foot in, 1 foot out, 1 foot in. No. That's not a decision. That's like an attempt. I don't know. I just made that up. That's an attempt. So a decision is making something and committing to it. Both feet in, accepting failure, accepting all the things that could go wrong, taking all the blame, but making the decision. And I did a whole episode on decision, making the decision, cutting yourself off from all other possibilities. That's step 3. And then the fourth, and this is my favorite, and that's to develop the relentless mindset. So a lot of people say, well, work hard. Working hard isn't enough anymore. There's too much information. There's too much talent. Working hard doesn't matter. You got to work relentlessly until you get it. So that's kind of my breakdown of this. I mean, I think the big thing and the big also point that I want to make is just the difference between biggest difference between tasks and projects, and taking a look at where you stand right now with those two, and then breaking the projects that you have into smaller tasks so that you can complete them. And there's a book I want to share. I did say it with you. It's called Getting Things Done. David, dang it, I can't remember his name. Let me see if I could pull it up for you real quick. All right, let me see. David Allen. Yes. Okay. So it's looking weird. I don't know if my live is still live or not, but okay. Getting Things Done by David Allen. So that's what I have for you today. If you have any questions, let me see here. What's up, Emily? Rebecca, good morning. This thing is not. I think it might have failed on me here. I don't know. Okay. So if you want to post some of your projects, tasks, stuff like that, feel free to share them, post them, continue to ask me questions. Like yesterday's question was awesome because it gave me this to talk about. And I can continue to, I have a list of what I want to, but I continue to change it and modify different things based on what you want, what your questions are, things that are going on in your business, your sales process, your book, whatever that looks like. Feel free to just shoot or DM me, let me know, and I'll come out with some badass videos like this one, right? Nah, I'm just kidding. But no, I'm here to help you guys out as much as I can and just share along this journey that I'm on with you, my biggest takeaways. So love you guys. Have a great Friday. Treat Friday like this is literally not like, oh, it's the Friday, let me just chill out. No, today's like the day to go. You know why? Because most people are chilling out. So go after it, go hard, and I will see you guys next week.